It is so good for so many reasons to be able to be here with you tonight, just to see your faces and to share this simcha, and it really is a simcha, to gather for any annual meeting. It means everyone sitting here made it. You know, it's always a good sort of beginning process in understanding that a whole year has gone by and so much has occurred in there. So if you would join me in reciting the Shechianu prayer, always a good way to start thanking God for being in this moment together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shechianu v'yamanu v'higanu b'zman hazeh. Amen. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, creator of the universe, who has kept us in life, sustained us, and allowed us to gather tonight to celebrate a year well lived. As Robert Hunter, lyricist for the Grateful Dead, once wrote, "What a long, strange trip it's been." This understated phrase perfectly captures my surreal month of May, one long, not so magical mystery tour that taught me profound lessons about our community, about life. For 10 days, I called room 750 on the 7th floor of Stoneman at Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital, my temporary home. In that time, I discovered, for instance, the hospital's hidden geography, the best continuous walking loop with an IV pole that wound from my room through the apheresis clinic to the maternal fetal clinic. So you kind of go from mixed urological service, and you go through the room into apheresis, which is bloodletting, and it's because it's bloodletting, the temperature is about 25 degrees colder. And then you go through the door to the maternal fetal clinic, where you just keep your mouth shut quietly and walk to the end, and all the way back out again. All the way with my pole and various things hanging from it. So one of the things I did learn from those hikes was that the apheresis clinic was the home of heated blankets. Any of you who've ever donated blood, particularly platelets, what they give you because you're immobilized, they give you a hot blanket. And believe me, it's a machai, it's wonderful. So I would, after the clinics closed, I would just kind of walk my way through into the apheresis to maternal fetal, turn the other way, and then kind of look over my shoulder, and I would open up that toasty 160 degree, it's not a refrigerator, heater, and I would open it, grab a couple blankets under the arm, and I just kept going. And I wondered what the staff did when they counted inventory and realized, like, why are there 7 blankets left? If they looked in room 750, they would have found them. I also witnessed, and some of you in the medical profession get this much better than I do, I witnessed the complex politics of operating room scheduling and can definitively report to you, God forbid you need to know this, but I'm going to tell you, the best thing to order off the Beth Israel menu, and I unfortunately had lots of experience, order the chicken pot pie. Not least because it retains its 300 degrees blazing temperature, even through all the vitals checks and the blood draws. You know, you're finally ready to eat, and you open it up, and it is so hot. So, chicken pot pie, don't forget. Also, I got to brag a little bit. I experienced, although I wasn't a happy camper at the time, what it meant to be a patient in my son's operating room. I don't mean operating, in the emergency department. Because he wasn't on duty when I arrived there, but he came on duty, and it was just weird to be laying there in some agony. And my son, who some of you might know, he is like the middle child, affable, he's the ER doc that you want. Nothing can freak him out. Just to sit up, hey, Pop. Hey, kid, good to see you. But through it all, this really just is a fine point on what I experienced 5 years ago at Beth Israel for open heart surgery. And I just want to say, the doctors, the nurses, the nurse practitioners, the patient care technicians, the floor cleaners. I had this whole routine with Greg, this black dude who took care of the hall. It was like a black dude, white dude thing that we just enjoyed together. And we had like this whole repartee going. And Rabbi, what's good? And then it was, anyway, it was, look at it. It was bored as hell. Anything, because any ripple in the mundane was like, oh, can you believe we, anyway. So what I want to say is the Beth Israel staff treated me with extraordinary respect and empathy. So while I waited and waited and waited for an operating room and for my anatomy to cooperate, I had countless hours to reflect on what truly matters. The insights were both humbling and illuminating. In those early days, admitted to the hospital, I felt profound distress about not being here. This realization struck me like a revelation. TBA isn't simply where I work, it's where I am. The sacred work, this sacred space forms a fundamental part of how I understand reality and my place within it. TBA is an organic institution that completes me, as they say in Jerry Maguire. It's my launching pad, my library, my telescope, my poem. Being in exile from TBA created a deep malaise, a spiritual funk that I just had not anticipated. Even more painful was knowing I was breaking my covenant with so many families. Missing memorial services, missing Yizkor, missing B'nai Mitzvah celebrations, weddings, yes, even the talking challah. Heidi, you didn't do a bad job, I just want to say. Simply being unavailable to you while I sat uncomfortably in that bed off Binney Street and just felt like I was betraying everything I want to be as a rabbi, as your rabbi. So I would take out, thank God for iPhones, I don't know, my usage meter broke. Like, more than 10 hours, I didn't even want to tell you how many hours. But I would sometimes just look at it and hit calendar. I would look at it and I would say, how am I going to manage this? I have to cancel this, reschedule that. It's like, who are you going to call? Alexa. So Alexa, who has really just taken such good care of me since she began working here. And she's the reason my calendar works. And she wasn't waiting outside the door of 750 Stone Window. I had hoped she would take notes during that time, but I was like, I really was overwhelmed by what I felt was just this terrible failing. But then I witnessed something kind of remarkable in the midst of my panic. You know, I discovered 5 years ago when my routine stress test ended up becoming triple bypass surgery, requiring massive cancellations and rescheduling. I had inadvertently tossed Becky Oliver, our executive director, into the deep end of crisis management. I mean, raising two boys is crisis management enough, but this was huge. And at the same time, of course, we were getting ready to cut the ribbon on our newly refurbished temple. So everything felt dark. And I would have to say that Becky and I lost countless hours to anxious insomnia during those early days. But then COVID came. I don't want to say it was fortuitous, God forbid. But I do want to say it made some things easier, like canceling virtually everything. In fact, we still have to schedule the opening of the, but anyway, I realized that, at least to the best of my knowledge, Becky was not completely freaked out this time around, I'm happy to say. So but still, I was freaked out. I would say to Becky or to James or to Alexa, or to any number of people on the staff who would text or email me. And I would say, but what about? And every person would write, would say, would text, it's good, we got this. I think maybe 20 years ago that would have freaked me out. Like, what do you mean you got this? Like, is my office still going to be there when I get back? But no, 29 years in, I realize it's a sign of the function of a superlative team, of people who care. And also, I must say, we also have a secret weapon, and that would be Marcy Jonas. Marcy is one of the most loving and cherished people I've ever met, and I would have told you that 25 years ago when I met her for the first time. She is a mensch, she is extraordinary, and I just kind of pictured, I sent her a meme, you know that famous episode in I Love Lucy where she and Vivian, they have to put the candy, and they keep on, and we just kept pitching stuff at her. How about this bar mitzvah? What about that wedding? And she just whatever she had to do, she's just been remarkable. And she's not here, but I hope if you do see her around, please thank her from me for being so loving, not just to me, because we have a wonderful relationship, but really loving to this congregation. I mean, Beth Avodah, you know, the place of worship. She gets it. She is it. We got this has become our temple staff's mantra. We keep the sacred juggernaut moving forward with resilience, humor, and an unbreakable promise to our congregation and everyone who's a part of our family. We believe in you, and we believe in each other. We maintain very high expectations at TBA. Everything we do must be sharp, interesting, welcoming, non-judgmental. We don't measure ourselves. We are not competitive. We don't measure ourselves against synagogues with bigger sanctuaries, or with half a dozen rabbis, 3 cantors, or obscenely large endowments. Good for them. But look what we have. Passion, laughter, mutual respect. We have a gorgeous space. We have an amazing staff. We produce plays. We nurture a thriving early learning center. If you study cosmology, you will know there's something called the Goldilocks zone. It's not too big, not too small, just right. And in that Goldilocks zone, that's where life happens. Our membership continues to grow. Why? Because something genuinely special happens here. We demonstrate authentic dedication to Jewish life, a compassionate commitment to making the world better for our people and for others. We appreciate the strength and solidarity we feel, whether we're gathering for high holy days, a knitting circle, or Torah study. It's not just the welcoming words that Eileen crafts so carefully for our website, or the programs we publicize. It's the videos that capture our honest, organic desire to open our arms and hearts every time to everyone and say, Bruchim Habayim, welcome to Beth Avodah, and meeting it every single time. We tend to our congregation with genuine care. We cultivate openness and joy. We embrace diversity as a sign of strength and growth. We know that no institution, large or small, no nation can survive without acknowledging that we are all created in God's image, all of us. That, by definition, all deserve honor and respect. The anti-Semitism now plaguing our country, exemplified tragically in Boulder with Molotov cocktails thrown at peaceful demonstrators demanding hostage releases, the brutal assassinations of Sarah Milgram and Yaron Lashinsky, that's heightened our alarm and concern. These events make our temple and our work even more vital. We must reinforce our purpose, our Jewish legacy, and our Jewish identity not just for our children, but for each one of us. We need to deepen our understanding of who, what, and why we are as Jews and as Jewish Americans. Yes, our security budget, as I'm sure you will hear about, matters enormously. But so does our education budget. We need the warmth of Jewish ritual and traditions to wrap around us like a talit woven from history. And we must fearlessly face the future, declaring, Hineni, here I am, here we are. We're saying goodbye to beloved and respected staff members and welcoming a talented new cantor and an exceptional new educator. We enter a new year filled with unknowns, and we will accomplish great things. We will continue, as we always have, to lead with your voices and listen to your hearts. I'm excited and blessed to be part of this evolving Hamish temple that refuses to be trapped in the stale structures maintained for tradition's sake alone. I'm honored and humbled by your trust as together we enter into our 29th anniversary year. Your love and support, expressed through meals, texts, emails, books, visits, and calls, have meant more to you than you can ever imagine. Every night in that hospital room, I really thought of you. I held you close, just like those warm blankets from the apheresis clinic. Your love continues to sustain me. Ruchim Haba, welcome to another year of sacred work together.